Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to tackle a popular lead code problem number 283. Move zeros. This problem is commonly asked in coding interviews and it's a great exercise to sharpen your skills in array manipulation and problem solving. Let's take a quick look at the problem statement. We have given an integer array. We need to move all zeros to the end of the array while maintaining the order of non-zero elements, such that we have to move these zeros to end of the element, and we also have to maintain the order of these non-zero elements. So there are various techniques to solve this problem. So it is a easy problem, but it is asked in many companies, so that is why we have to solve this problem. So how are we going to approach this problem? So we just have to make, the main thing is that we don't have to do, like, we don't have to move zeros from here to here. We just have to move non-zero elements to in front of the array, such as let's see the hint. So in place means we should not allocating any space for extra array, but we are allowed to modify the existing array. Means we can modify this existing array. So what we will be going to do? We are not going to move these zeros. We are going to move these non-zero elements above the array, means in front of the array. So let's see. Let's code it first, then we'll do the dry run, and you can understand it better. So let's make a count variable. We are using this count. We can also use index variable, so name can be anything which you can like. So first we have to iterate through each element of the array. It should be less than nums.length and I plus plus. So we just have to check a condition. If nums, that array of I means that element, if not equal to 0, just add that num at the index of count, just add that element if it is non-zero. If the element is non-zero, add into this index where index is 0. So we also have to do count plus plus. First add and then increment the count, right? After that, non elements can with the help of this loop, the non-zero elements can go to above the in front of the array. Okay, so now we have to add, we can add these zeros manually. So how we can just use a while loop, in which we can say while count is less than nums.length. Nums.length till what we have to do, just add nums of count. We have to add in place of count, right? Just add 0 and do increment the count, and return type is void, so we don't have to return anything. So just let's try to run the code, and let's see if there are any errors. The code will run synchronously. First this loop will run, after that this loop will run. So it's a good thing, right, for us. Oh, so we have successfully passed all of the cases. Let's try to submit the code. So we have submitted the code successfully. So let's see the dry run of this code. Let's do the dry run of the code for this input, where we have given nums array in which at the 0th index we have 0, 1, 0, 3, 12. So as we see in the first, when the program will run, the value of count is 0, and 4, when the loop will start, the value of I is 0. I is so num of 0, it will check in the first iteration, is num of at 0th index means I is 0. So if num of 0 is num at 0th index is 0, if it is not 0, just add that num into count. That num in modified the array, like it will be like so. In iteration 1, as we can see, the value of count is 0 and the value of I is 0. So we have to check at the num of 0. Num of 0, it was at the num of 0 we have 0. So yeah, so if the number is not equal to 0 means, so as we can see there, the num at 0th index is 0, so we don't have to do anything. And so it in iteration first we didn't done anything. So let's see in iteration 2. So in iteration 2, when I becomes 1, so at the we have to check the element at num of I. So num of 1 is what? Num of 1 is 1, it is non-zero element. So in this condition, what will it do? It will simply add at the count. In as we can see, the count is 0, so it will store nums at 0. It will store at the 0th index that value which is 1. So and after that it will increment the count. So count is now 1. So we have successfully stored our first element. So now count is 1. After that, in third iteration, we have to check. So it is 0, so it won't go in this condition, so we don't have to do anything. After that we have to check at the index of when I become 0, 1, 2, 3, at the when the value of I is 3, it will check yes, the element is not equal to 0. Just add the num of I at the place of count. So count is 1, so it will store num of 1 at num of I, means that it will store that element into our count array, means at the place of count. So now count has been increased to 2, so count is 2. And after that we have to again check when the value of I will increment. So it add num of 5. So num of 5 we have to check 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, in at num of 4 we have to check it is not 0. Yes, it is not 0. That just add that element into that array. So this thing will happen in iteration 4. After that this loop is over. So our resultant array is 1, 3, 12. After that we have manually added these zeros at the start of count, means that the value of count is 2, and we have stored there 12 too. So the count has been increased, as you can see 0, 1, 2. So the value of count is now 4, because we have successfully added the value at counted 0, counted 1, counted 2. So now the value of count is 3. So at the place of 3, the count value is 3. So yeah, yes, 3 is less than nums.length. and the nums of the length of the nums is 5, condition is true, so it will store at the third index, that 0 manually that we have done, so it will store there 0, and again that count will become 4. 4 is less than nums dot length which is 5. So yeah, again it will increment the count and store that at the place of count. So this is our answer, because after that it will become 5. 5 is not less than 5, so this loop will cancel out. After that we have successfully founded our answer. So as we can as we if we talk about the time complexity of this code, so we just have used two loops separately, so the time complexity would be big of n, because we are iterating each element one time, and we are not using any extra space, so the space complexity would be big of 1, because we are modifying that array which is given to us. So that's all for today's video. Thank you for watching.